And now it's time for Guerilla Roundup. They'll let you know what happened overnight when things transpire you whilst you sleep. Right there in the loop you keep.
Well, I'm pleased to say that for the last time from Wellington, we're joined again by Hector Vickers, who joins us after a night learning a bit about how it's not wise to try and compete with cricketers and journalists when it comes to drinking. But, you know, he's recovered and he's back with us. How was your day apart from that, Hector?
Yeah, it was a great day. It went on a little longer than we expected, but yeah, it was great for England to wrap up the series victory by the end of it.
Indeed. And so take us through it, if you would, or summarize, of course, by saying that England eventually won by 323 runs, and there was never really much doubt about that, was there?
No, not going into last night with Root and Stokes at the crease. Obviously, I mean, it was just a matter of time until England wrapped it up. The question was when they were going to declare, and they declared within the first 30 minutes after Joe Root brought up his 36th Test 100 with a typical Root scoop that got a little bit lucky. He gloved it over slip, but yeah, he got his 100 and then got out a couple of balls later, edged off to Willow Rourke. Blundell took a nice catch, and then Stokes declared when he was on 49 not out of 42 balls, leaving England with a lead of 583, which is pretty honest.
Yeah. So there was never much doubt about the outcome. And from when everything started, it started to go pretty poorly for New Zealand quite quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, well, it looked as if England were going to wrap it up not long after lunch. New Zealand went into lunch at 59 for 4. Wokes and Cars claimed the top order wickets really early on. Wokes looked pretty menacing with the new ball. He got Conway bowled out for a duck. Conway, he's likely to be dropped heading into Hamilton next week. He's had a poor series. Latham looked all right on 24, but then Bryden Cast took a spectacular grab for Corden bowled. So yeah, Latham went for 24. Williamson again, Chris Wokes had the rub on him today, finding a pretty rare edge. Williamson doesn't edge it a lot, but he did today. He departed for 4, and then Ravinger has also continued his poor series with just 6 edging Bryden Cast to Ollie Pope. So yeah, they went into lunch at 59 for 4, and it looked as if it was going to be wrapped up pretty quickly after the break.
And what happened then?
Well, Mitchell and Blundell, 2 players who've historically done pretty well against England. Obviously, Blundell hasn't had a great series. He had calls to be dropped before this match. They combined for another, I think they had a bunch of 42 off 110 balls. So they were pretty stubborn, and they looked as if they were just going to try and take the game into day 4. But then Mitchell fell. He nipped off to Atkinson. Pope in the action again with a pretty comfortable catch. And then Blundell just seemed to... Bashir was brought on. It was really windy in the afternoon, and Atkinson started bowling into the wind, and he said, I can't do it. So Bashir was forced to bowl a 17 over spell into the wind. And yeah, you could tell it was affecting him because he looked pretty off colour, and Blundell hit him for 4 sixes all down the ground, one again finding the roundabout, and then Glenn Phillips also and Nathan Smith both hit Bashir for 6s. So he was under the pump in the afternoon. Phillips went early for 16 off 11, and then Blundell and Smith combined for a really nice 96 partnership. Blundell bringing up a much needed 100, potentially a career saving century. That was his 6th Test match century with 5 sixes and 13 4s. And yeah, he played a brilliant innings. He was dropped actually by Bethel on naught at 3rd slip, diving to his left. It was a tough catch, but yeah, he definitely made the most of it. And then when he was dismissed, Bashir eventually got him. Blundell tried the Root scoop off Bashir, and Ben Duckett took a great catch running around from 1st slip, deflected it up into the air, and then took it comfortably on a rebound. So he went for 115, and then not long after that did the tail get wrapped up. Ben Stokes brought himself on in the 50th over and took 3 wickets in just as many overs. So yeah, he was pretty brutal at the end there. And Nathan Smith, Nathan Smith got 42. He looked great out there. A couple sixes for him as well. But Stokes found the edge and Pope again in the action with another catch. Matt Henry just a 4. Stokes again. Bethel took a nice catch in the deep. Pull shot to sort of deep square, and Bethel took a nice diving catch, and then Southey, he just came out swinging. Last Test match at the Basin Reserve, there was only one way he was going to go, and he concluded the innings. He concluded the match by holding out to Chris Wokes at mid wicket. So a very convincing 383 run victory for England.
Indeed. 2 wickets to Wokes, 1 to Atkinson, 2 to Cass, 2 to Bashir, and 3 tail enders to Stokes. So wickets spread around. As you say, a very convincing win to England yet again. Anything of interest said at the press conferences afterwards?
Yeah, well, Stokes actually looked the more unhappy of the two. Latham came in first, and he was deflated, but usual Kiwi sort of will be back for the next test. He was actually not as bad as we were expecting. He said that they don't need any more motivation to go out and win it at Hamilton. He didn't say whether Southey would be playing in the 3rd test. He didn't definitively say that, which I thought was interesting. He said that they're going to get straight to work and look ahead, and they can't dwell on the past 2 matches. Ben Stokes came in, he looked knackered, pretty windswept. It looked like he was crying at one point, but yeah, he was pretty tired. But again, he said that England have just been dominant throughout the series, and Harry Brook and Ollie Pope have been a large credit to the way that they've gone about things, especially in the first innings. Christchurch, they were 45 for 3, and here they were 43 for 4 at one point, and both times Brook and Pope sort of dug us out of a hole there. So yeah, he was very complimentary of the two.
Right. So I mean, my view is that New Zealand fell apart when they dropped several dozen catches in the first test, and it's never looked up since then. But from England's point of view, although they've been convincing victories, there's still a couple of question marks I would have. Crawley clearly is still in a hole. I've no doubt that they will continue on with him, given that once you're in the Stokes club, you're not allowed to leave. The other question I have, which I don't think is asked often enough, is about Bashir. Now, I know he was bowling in windy conditions today, but my general view is Bashir is a fairly average spinner who gets, as a lot of spinners do, a lot of his wickets with shit balls or good luck. And England have invested in him quite a bit over the last 12 months. I don't see him getting any better as a result of that, to be honest. And is Jack Leach likely to be given a run in the 3rd test, do you think?
No, I think they're going to stick with Bashir. The sort of consensus here is that Leach, his test career is pretty much over. He's just joining the tours as almost a mentor, like Jimmy Anderson, but obviously as a player. The way Bashir bowled today, as I said, he bowled 17 overs and he was just getting whacked around. He did get Blundell, and I don't know if you saw, but his celebration was pretty overindulgent, I thought. It seemed
yes, considering it was a pretty ordinary ball that he got him from.
Yeah, exactly. And Stokes after the match said that he would have bowled Bashir from that end for the rest of the day. So it's sort of, the thought here is that he's being bowled just to get overs under the belt, and there's sort of England sort of think that the more overs he'll get, the more he'll progress. But he's bowled the most overs out of anyone in the world this year, and he hasn't really improved since his debut. And of course he'll bowl well on turning wickets, but look at Pakistan, he only got 9 wickets in 3 matches on a turn in the last 2 tests. So yeah, it's a strange one. I think he will play in Hamilton, and it looks as if, well, he is England's main choice of spin. Looks as if he'll be at the Ashes, but yeah, it seems a little bit of a bizarre call from Cullen.
And Chris Wokes seemed to bowl pretty well, but without huge reward, just 3 wickets for the match. Is he likely to continue on for the next test match, do you think?
I think it just depends on fitness. This match, I think he played a million times better than he did in the first. He was unlucky not to have a lot more wickets, especially today. He was swinging the ball a lot. He looked actually probably the most threatening bowler out there early on. But yeah, again, it's just a fitness thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they called Potts into the attack, just in preparations, see what he can do ahead of a big summer.
Yeah.
Because it's the test of the winter, they might as well switch it around. But yeah, I guess we'll see in a few days' time.
So what are your plans for the next couple of days? You got a couple of days off, a bit of recovery after last night, no doubt. Anything else on for you?
I'm not too sure. I might go see that museum that you recommended potentially.
Yeah, Te Papa. It's you have to be a New Zealand to get in for free, but I think it's only $35 for foreigners, and it's well worth a visit. I can assure you.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep, get some rest, and then.
Well, I've looked at the forecast. Although it's pouring with rain at the moment, it should be fine again by tomorrow. So you should be ready to go.
Yeah, it's tipping it down here.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your reports, Hector. It's been fantastic to have the gossip from inside the ground and your perspective on it all. And I look forward to doing it again when we start in Hamilton on, is that Friday your time? Saturday your time. So Friday night in the UK, and we'll have our reports from that as well. So thanks very much for that, mate. It's been a blast doing this.
Yeah, it's been good. I'll see you next week.
And now it's time for Guerilla, a roundup. They'll let you know what happened.